The book of Revelation describes a time when the vast majority of people in the world will receive a mark that will directly impact the rest of their life. And only a few know what the mark is. The mark of the beast is not a vaccine, social security card, tattoo, or computer chip. The Bible gives facts and clues to determine what the mark is, who it comes from, and who will have it.
Facts and clues.
The mark of the beast is first mentioned in the book of Revelation, chapter 13. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Let's break down this scripture to identify 7 facts about the mark. Then we'll put these facts together with some additional scriptures and identify exactly what the mark is.
They provide
before we get into
tangible
it,
evidence.
if you're new to this channel, we make these videos to explain Bible topics in an easy-to-understand way. We believe the Bible is the foundation of truth and everyone could benefit from it. So give us a like and help spread the word. Now back to the mark. Number 1. The mark is the sign of a coming world-ruling government led by a powerful political leader. There are 2 different beasts described in Revelation chapter 13. The first beast, described in verses 1 through 8, comes up from the sea and has 7 heads and 10 horns.
Beasts. You gonna see these beasts or what?
If we see, I know, right? Nigga, if I see this shit coming out the water, I'm fucked.
Is this shit literal?
Right.
Like,
It says 7 horns, 7. They back then in the Bible they can only describe what they could see or what they was able to understand. So if they saw a horse, they'd just be like, or a zebra, be like, it's a horse.
Okay. Well, then see, that's just gonna break into one or two things. Either, which is my 2 philosophy. Either one, you got to debunk some of this shit, and some of it isn't true, and we believe it is, or it is true, and then we have to go further into the explanation and talk about the whole aliens thing. You feel me? Because they're not humans. They came from a different realm. Well, doesn't have to be a different planet. Could have been a different realm. So
when they talk about like that thing that came and not picked up, was it the flaming chariot? Not the flaming chariot that picked up Elijah. That one chariot that had wings and like a spinning ball.
Yeah.
You know,
they describe multiple shit like that, and just, I'm going off what you mean. Like they can only describe what they thought they saw, or whatever.
Like
boom,
when
boom,
they
boom.
talk about that one angel that has the head of a lion, that like it has 3 heads, but it has 1 face, or one head, 3 faces. Like we don't know how to just really.
I don't know what it was in this scientific universe.
Right. It's just
they could have explained that
child,
shit.
describe what you see. Well, it has eyes and scaly.
Right, and in every language, even languages don't have nothing to do with any other language and derivative at all. Dragon is still some form of the word dragon, dragon, something. It's like that's not a coincidence.
Yeah, that
but
picture exists across all things.
But we're not talking about what they saw. This is future. Remember?
Right, but supposedly, who was it? David, or whoever wrote Revelations, he
saw the vision.
Right.
So when you hearing from God, you don't get exact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
you can get exact. Like, God's not a God of confusion. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just
maybe Saul gave him the vision he wanted.
I feel like God. It's rare that when they talk about how he saw this, it's more like he saw it. Like God didn't talk to him while this was happening. He just got to see these things.
Right, but
like,
I mean,
really
but that's not always the case. That's not always the case though.
Right.
It can be very clear sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Like
it's
the
not.
Commandments, them motherfuckers clear as day.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't. Oh, I see this. That's black and white. Set in stone, literally.
This beast, as explained in other TW videos, represents a revival of the Roman Empire. There will arise an individual who will receive great power, a throne, and authority from Satan the devil. This leader will be worshipped by the world, will blaspheme God, will war against God's saints, and will lead a powerful world-ruling empire in the not-too-distant future. Those who receive the mark will be adherents to this system, the final end-time ruling empire, war against God's saints.
So, 7 heads and 10 horns. Revival of the Roman Empire. What the fuck is the Roman Empire doing right now?
Well, I don't think they mean like an actual revival of the Roman Empire from back then. I think they mean like
their rhetoric.
Their
Rhetoric in general.
Right, just like someone who was able to control a lot of the country, just like the Romans did. Or not a lot of the country, a lot of the world economy or whatever. Because all was the word all, or the saying, all roads lead to Rome back in that day. Everybody was trying to get to Rome, come get shit from Rome.
They meant that very literally.
And will lead a powerful world-ruling empire in the not-too-distant future. Those who receive the mark will be adherents to this system, the final end-time revival of the Roman Empire. Number 2, the mark is used by the beast to identify those who will not conform to its system and rule of law. This end-time revival of the Roman Empire will have the power and ability to control who can and cannot engage in commerce. No one may buy or sell except one who has the mark. Therefore, someone who refuses the mark will stand out and will be excluded from engaging in normal business, trade, and employment. Anyone who does not conform and obey the beast power will be penalized and persecuted. But those who accept the beast power and obey its form of government, authority, and control will take on the beast's mark. Number 3.
So, even though they started out by saying it's not a social security number, by the end of this, I'm going to end up saying again, well, social security number, nigga.
3. The majority of mankind will receive the mark. We see that people, both small and great, rich and poor,
like I told you, I'm entertaining the idea that we already in Revelation. You feel me?
free and slave, take on this mark or sign. This sign will be popular, mainstream, and accepted by a major portion of the population.
Like,
only a small number of people will refuse to conform and reject the beast's politics, religion, morality, and influence. Number 4. He who causes all to receive the mark is a deceptive, false Christian.
They're not a religion or policy. It's just
don't have to be religion or policy. It's a new world order.
It's going to be a world government religion. Like,
put a pin in
Christian prophet with great power. Beginning in verse 11, the Apostle John recalls seeing in vision a second beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. In the Bible, Jesus Christ is described as the Lamb of God, while Satan the devil is called a dragon. Therefore, the second beast appears Christ-like on the surface. He looks like a lamb, but speaks like Satan the devil. This symbolizes a coming false Christian prophet who performs great signs so that he even makes fire come down from heaven. It is the Antichrist, empowered by Satan himself, who will lead a false Christian church. He will use his power and influence to persuade nearly everyone on earth to worship the first beast. It is he who causes the people to receive the mark. Therefore, it is this false Christian power which requires people to take on this end-time identification. This means the mark is directly connected to a false Christian church with profane practices and beliefs. Number 5. The mark is on the right hand or forehead. The Bible does not say this mark has to be a literal image or imprint on the hand or forehead. Rather, in the Bible, the hand is used to symbolize action and strength, while the forehead. The Bible does not.
This one they just fucking debunked everything to me.
The mark is on the right hand or forehead. The Bible does not say this mark has to be a literal image or imprint on the hand or forehead. Rather, in the Bible, the hand is used to symbolize action and strength, while the forehead is used to symbolize thinking and will.
So again,
for example, when God instructed his people in Deuteronomy chapter 6, he said to them, "Now this is the commandment, and these are the statutes and judgments."
So once you say that it's figurative in that fashion, in that, like, not that he's quoting the Bible wrong or anything, let's just say that this is what the Bible says, you know what I'm saying, for now. Because, I mean, do you have any disagreements? That's pretty much what I read, too. Like, that it's not... I remember the forehead and the rain, but never does it say specifically what it's going to look like, indentation, nothing physical. Right, they never say.
But it does say that the mark is the 666, that it translates to the 666.
Does it?
Yeah, like 666.
I want to say, and that's what I always picture, like a 666 on your forehead or hand. That's what I always... But... I don't remember it saying it has to be something physical.
Right. It doesn't say that it has to be a physical thing, but it says that it is
Anything you do can
It's-
represent
It's the mark of
666.
the beast, which represents 666.
Anything you do can represent 666. You know what I'm saying? Like you have actions that. So anyway, that's they saying is figurative, just like the dragon, I guess, and just like.
Which the Lord your God has commanded.
And he didn't straight up
these
say the
words which I
dragon was,
commanded you today shall be in your heart. You shall bind them
was
as a
figurative.
sign
He
on
didn't
your
straight up
hand,
say
and
that.
they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. God told his people to put his commandments on their hands and between their eyes, or on their forehead, as a sign. Now, this instruction did not mean they were to literally strap his commandments to their head or hand. Rather, God was using figurative language to tell them to obey his commandments with their actions, thinking, and will. They were to wholly obey in both practice and belief, and their obedience would serve as a sign distinguishing them as God's people. This same instruction is
So
Means nothing.
means absolutely nothing. That can be scrutinized if you're living to do the devil's work, or you're living to. That can be easily scrutinized. We do that to each other today, right? So what the fuck? Like, so that means bring it all the way back. Why is it not a social security number? Because we pledge of allegiance. You got a pledge of allegiance to get the social security number. Pledge your allegiance. You feel me? So like, and I ain't saying America's the devil or anything. I'm just saying we could have been. We are. Why you think them Taliban hate us so much? You know what I'm saying? Maybe their interpretation is this what it is,
Well,
nigga.
because-
I'm supposed to be killing this antichrist.
Look at us. Look how not look how far we come, but look how the other countries are still slowly progressing. But our shit was like, oh, we came from what one era to having the Civil War to now we like the biggest.
And our progression
power
is still
country.
trivial. And our progression. Imagine how fast
Right.
how fast we done came with technology and these phones and all this shit. If we'd have focused that, not that we haven't come far with food, we haven't come a long way with food. If we focused on that, we'd been even further with that.
Well, just like I take back and look at it like whenever I go to Mexico, over here, I don't need to really know multiplication like that. I got a calculator, I got all this technology. Over there, these motherfuckers have to know multiplication. They ain't got, and not everybody got a calculator, not everybody got a
Facts.
computer. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of dumbed us down.
I mean,
And-
we was
and
we was like that just fucking 15 years ago, but
we look dumb. We've advanced into the world, but our morals have fallen apart. In other countries, their morals are still kind of intact.
true, due to hardship.
Right.
Due to hardship. This is what I say all the time. You need something to make you humble. You know what I'm saying? That's why black people serve God, because they have to. We have to. Like, that's why there's, I don't say there's, nobody blacks kills themselves, but there's a higher suicide rate amongst white people because they don't have that faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Albeit that faith may make you sit on your hands and not do what you're supposed to do sometimes, or maybe a false sense of hope sometimes. But
'cause I feel like like even when I looked into Aztec culture, as far as I could look into it, you weren't supposed to commit suicide.
yeah, nobody.
Like unless you were doing it for the greater good, like to sacrifice yourself for the whole. But that's it.
There's very few religions that condone that. But yeah, I can't even think of one.
It's not any indigenous religions that really condone self.
I can't think of one. I mean, there's certain ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going into a battle, you know you can't win, you know what I'm saying? That's basically like did I not just commit suicide if I'm pissed off, right? I go cause a ruckus at the gas station, wait till the cops get there, and then I pull my gun on the cops, knowing very well what's about to happen to me. Is that not suicide? Like, it's basically suicide. I mean, you know, but it's fucking hairy shit.
It's a way to commit suicide without having to, because you don't want to pull the trigger, but you want somebody to.
As if you could fool God.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how does that? You know what I mean? How does that work?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's not clearly detailed. We need Third Testament. But as far as this mark under that explanation, we could have been taking the mark. Like I said, 1776, 1777, whatever. When we got our first president, that could have been the first.
What this is saying, what this is really pretty much saying is the mark is not real. It's a belief. It's an idea.
It's an idea, meaning if you don't conform to my ideals, then you can't do business in tariffs with USA, and that's basically how it is. Oh, you want to stand with Hong Kong against Chinese our government? Well, we're not doing business with you no more because you don't have the mark no more. You feel me? You have to look the other way on these Hong Kong slaves.
Yeah.
You have to look the other way on these Hong Kong slaves because that's the mark, the belief. So now you can keep doing business and trading with us. Because if not, we finna shut all that shit down. NBA, we finna shut that shit down. Gonna make our own league.
Well, that's why I really don't like this whole. Well, but no, it makes sense when people say like, oh, only shop like with black owned stores. It's like, well, yeah, you want other people to have money too, but damn, that doesn't really make sense. Because what about the Asian stores?
The point of the point of doing that is because we're trying to get out of our rut.
Right,
like
right.
we're trying to be equal, but to be equal, we need to have a vast surgence of,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what that's about, buying black. But the reason why buying black doesn't necessarily work is because we try to jump off the porch too fast with it, with a lot of things, and we don't seek the right help in certain situations. So our product is inevitably lesser a lot of times. We don't have the production. We don't have the. If I want to make something, oh, hey, dude, I might got some connections to this dude who make plastic. I can get a, you know what I'm saying, a mold over here for the low. I can get this. I already know somebody how to work how to get my loans in the bank and do all this. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole bunch of shit I ain't got to pay for to start with, because I know business and I have connections and I have good credit and I have. Black people don't have a lot of these things to get the resources to make the perfect product, or a lot of times a competitive product. Even when we do have a competitive product, we can't competitively advertise because that costs money too. So when you buy black, yeah, you want to buy black, but I think more so, don't buy stupidly. Don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I think don't buy black, don't. No. Well, I think more so effective. Don't. I ain't saying. I'm not saying buy black. I'm saying stop buying so much white shit that you don't need. Like, and I don't mean just white shit. I mean like foreign shit, Gucci. You know,
all this keeping up with the Jones shit.
That shit dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, so not necessarily just buy black. Before we buy black, we gotta keep our money in our pocket to have some money to buy black. So when we go to the black store, hey man, let me get the discount. Fuck that. Let me get did you get a discount at the white person shit? No. Like, how about you support my business? You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, black people again need these resources. So the nigga product might be a little pricey. You feel me? So it's like, damn, you present yourself with a conundrum. We need more help in general. Just in general.
I mean, this could be happening in any country. If you don't abide to our political beliefs, you can't eat. You can't, whatever.
Well, I mean, I'm not secluding it to just our country. Like I said, I brought China into this shit. Anybody that's in our trade who's trading between U.S. and China, they have to be conformed to some of what we. You know what I'm saying?
Like with us, or you're with China. One of us is the.
Well, we all in cahoots. We're with China too.
Right.
Made very clearly when we tried to stand with Hong Kong, you cannot. Everybody's money got affected, and everybody shut the fuck down, right? So it's a whole worldly thing, regardless. And if you're not in this trade circle, you're a third world country, probably, right? Makes sense now. So you don't have to seclude it just USA. It's the whole world already. Nigga, everything in here is made in China or somewhere else. Everything in China made in USA. You know what I'm saying? Like, or in China and they don't buy it for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they sell that shit to us and everybody else. Canadians up there minding their own business, but they still got to trade. They still got, you know what I'm saying? But they don't have as much to scrutinize. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's problems in China that we need to get. We shouldn't be doing business with people like that, boom, but you kind of have to. Like, well, we don't have to do shit. We ain't really got to do shit. We in debt with we in debt.
We allowed ourselves for our laziness, or I don't know, or
just greed.
Yeah,
greed in general. I mean, but at the same time, again, a startup company. America's a startup company. You gonna have to be in debt. You know what I'm saying, to a certain extent, to start up a company. Your first few years, you're gonna be in debt till you get in the black.
And imagine, I mean, China's had a head start because these niggas been ancient kingdoms and shit.
Right. Yeah. China's the longest, most successful civilization. Right. You know why? Because they have slaves. Because they have slaves, and they are okay with that. That's what they do. Now I ain't saying it's right, but I'm just saying, for everybody to win, you have to cut out the people who are losing and say that you don't count, and then everybody's winning, 100% win rate. Just cut out the losers. Like,
don't count the losers. And
we
of course gonna have
over here try to please everybody, and we will perpetually be unsatisfied because of it. We'll all be dissatisfied because of it.
But we should be dissatisfied with it.
We shouldn't.
I feel that comes back to greed.
It's greed that black people want
No.
equality. It's greed.
No, but because like if we had,
You know what I'm saying? You try to please everybody in America, dissatisfied. They because they tried to exclude the losers, us. They tried to exclude us, but eventually the voices rang through. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not having that shit. Right? I mean, if China wanted everybody to be equal, it'll take them 100 years. It would take them 100 years at least, because black people still ain't equal. So to take from slaves and make everybody equal, we've never seen it. We ain't seen it happen yet, right? Native Americans ain't got the right end of the deal. We ain't got the right end of the deal. Anybody else that went through slavery ain't got it. So, I mean, they're fine because they say they're fine. You know what I'm saying? And they can exclude people. We don't have the ability to exclude people because of this moral belief system that we've founded ourselves upon. And that only works because we certain leaders have stood up on it, and now we have to go forward with it. You know what I mean? Like, you trust somebody to do something, you believe somebody, oh, I'm gonna stand on this, boom, boom, boom. That's a pivotal point in history, and you go forward with it. Just like every time when Nancy Reagan who got into schools and shit like that, and then President Reagan with the whole drug thing. We go forward with that in mind, and that's now a big thing, like this mental health thing, pivotal point. It's always gonna be a thing now. You feel me? Like these more so going on forward. You can't just call folks crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to really evaluate them now, and hopefully that'll work for the drug epidemic going forward in black communities, because it works in white communities, but not in black communities.
yeah.
You know, we just addicts because we want to be. Apparently.
Yeah.
But the white dude got a problem.
Yeah, because his parents loved him too much. Or
You
didn't
know what
love
I'm
him enough.
Or whatever the case may be. Like, so I mean, yeah, hopefully the more and more that comes out, the more and more we stand on, the more people get helped, and the more we can go forward, we can progress. But only until we can do it honestly. Like, some people just be jumping on these trains and picking random ass mountains to die on, bro. Like, just what the fuck? Like, I'm not. Some white people motherfucking get fired over this Kyle Rittenhouse shit. He was protecting them. All right, bro. Okay, whatever. It was. You know, just leave it alone. It ain't even fuck it. Fuck it. We've been here too many times. We've done this too many times.
I wasn't expecting no different outcome. I didn't understand why people up in hoopla.
Niggas up in hoopla, cause we know damn well we couldn't shot no 3 white folks.
Well, no, there's. It's funny because there's a case that's not really concurrent, but it's similar to this case. So, and this one's even worse. The dude ain't even out of jail. He can't even get out on bail. That dude, Rittenhouse, whatever the fuck, Rittenhouse. His first set of lawyers, they didn't want him to get out of jail because they was raising money him sitting in jail. His lawyer that helped him beat this case is like, man, I told him he needs to stay away from them right wing people, because they're gonna try to use him as a ploy. It's like, and that's what was happening to him at the beginning.
That boy is a martyr.
He was like, they was trying to use him. They're like, it's funny, they were raising money for him, but he's still sitting in jail. Why didn't they bail him out if they was raising all this money for him?
Using this nigga as a martyr.
Yeah, and then
straight up.
So he's like, so that wasn't right. He's like, I don't think he's a bad kid and all this and that. He's like, and I was like, man, I don't know. Like, so that was his lawyers talking. But then they said there's a black dude who has a similar case that happened around the same time frame, and he's still in jail. His trial ain't gone into court yet. It don't go till next year. But he was driving with his girlfriend, and 2 white dudes pull up on him, try to run them off the road. So he pull up and shoot, and when they try to come back and hit him, he pull out his strap and bust 2 in the truck, end up killing the backseat driver or the backseat passenger. And they got this nigga in jail and they ain't let this nigga get bail.
Damn, bro, that shit crazy.
And I'm like, so they try to run.
Ahmaud Arbery dude's guilty though.
Huh?
They say Ahmaud Arbery killer's guilty though. I mean, they had, bro, the boy. I might have joined the ride if them motherfuckers got off. I might have actually went to a ride, nigga, if them motherfuckers got off. Bro, every question, clearly. So he was threatened, no. He was running away, no. Did he reach for them? No. So you just shot him. Pretty much. Like, pretty much. He didn't threaten you verbally, physically at all. He just ran away from you. Yeah. That's it.
See, well, that's kind of what not that. That's what the judge would help this Kyle Rittenhouse kid. The judge dismissed the whole case about him being underage with a gun, and it looks like the charges are going to be dropped from the kid, the adult that got him the gun, because there should have been some charges on that too. But those charges got dropped, so all they had to ask this nigga was, "Did you feel for your life?" As long as he can convince people that he feels for his life.
Doesn't that directly fucking like coincide with his decision to use a gun?
Exactly.
Like, you should be of the proper age, so you have the discernment enough to know when and when not to use it or how to use it.
And first of all, nigga, he said he went there for medical help. Then how you the one walking around with the gun towards the crowd? That's why the crowd corralled you, nigga. They didn't see too many people walk up with M16s and just start blazing
medical
open
help.
Shoot,
that's
nigga.
why he had them gloves on. Medical help.
Help my ass.
What was you? Medical help.
Nigga,
what nurses on the battlefield with a gun, my nigga? What
with an M16? With an M16
that boy with the that boy out there with the standard issue for infantry, nigga.
Yeah, bro.
Standard issue infantry. Talking about he going out there to help. And if you don't get your bitch ass on somewhere with that whole ass shit, bro.
If that would have been a black person walking around with an AK,
Man,
they would have thrown rocks. Somebody would have shot at him.
Bro, that
They would've tackled his ass.
motherfucker would not have been walking that far with cops chasing it or like walking behind him and walk around him and shit. Nah, that shit ain't happening.
Like, I think he even walked past police officers.
Yeah, like they was walking trying to tell him to put it down, shit like that. And everybody saying he just killed somebody. Bro, nigga, if that was my black ass, boy, man.
Repeated in Exodus 13, verse 9, and Deuteronomy 11, verse 18.
Boy.
So the mark, which is on the hand or forehead, is not a literal image or imprint, or something physically forced upon people by the beast, but rather it is a distinction in the way people will obey the beast in their practice and belief. And the two places where the mark of the beast appears on its followers, in their actions and thinking, are the very same places where God wants to see a sign of obedience to him from his followers. Number 6. The mark is direct.
Right? I already have them. I mean, it already seems like what it is today. Like, that's what we say at church. We different, you know what I'm saying? We the chosen ones. We're not supposed to condone in this world, boom, boom, boom. We're going to look different. We're going to stand out. We actually strive to be like Jewish people and Islam, because, you know, their religion is synonymous with their race, because of how hard they practice. Their practices are seen on a daily basis. They can't do stuff. They have to. A lot of laws are made to protect them because of the ways that they have to live. You can't fire me because I have to take a sabbatical or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. We as Christians want
Ramadan
to look like. We want to stand out that much. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal, anyways.
Connected to worshiping the beast power.
But,
Revelation 16, verse 2 shows that those with the mark worship the beast's image. Speaking of God's judgment, it says, So the first angel went and poured out his bowl upon the earth, and a foul and loathsome sore came upon the men who had the mark of the beast and those who worshipped his image. And speaking of the martyred saints who will reign with Christ, Revelation 20, verse 4 says, I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their witness to Jesus and for the word of God, who had not worshipped the beast or his image and had not received his mark. Therefore, those with the mark worship the beast and its image, not God. In doing so, they directly disobey the first two of God's commandments. Number 7. God will pour out his wrath on those with the mark because of their disobedience. Revelation 14, 9-10 says, Then the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If anyone worships the beast and his image, and receives his mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God. And Colossians 3 verse 6 says, The wrath of God is coming upon the sons of disobedience. God will pour out his wrath and punish people for their acts of disobedience, not for a simple literal mark on the hand. The beast power and those with his mark share a false worship and corrupt way of life. Because they break God's laws and live contrary to God's ways, they are sons of disobedience. Therefore, the mark which identifies them is connected to their rebellious practice and belief, their sinful actions and thinking, their false worship, and their breaking of God's commandments. Now, putting these 7 facts together with some additional scriptures, we can identify exactly what the mark of the beast is. So far, we've seen that a deceptive false prophet leading a false church will influence a large majority of the population to take part in a coming revival of the Roman Empire. This world-ruling system will be led by a powerful leader, and the followers of this system will, by their actions and thinking, share a form of worship and way of life that is disobedient toward God. Anyone who does not take on the beast's mark or will not accept the beast's form of worship and way of life will be excluded from normal business, trade, and employment. Therefore, God will pour out his wrath upon these people and this system. So the mark of the beast clearly stands as a sign of disobedience to God and his laws, and is not merely some physical symbol on or in the hand or forehead that could be stamped or branded on a person even against their will. In fact, the Bible reveals a contrasting sign of obedience that identifies God's true people and determines the faithful way they worship him. My Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. Work shall be done for 6 days, but the 7th is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. Twice in Ezekiel chapter 20, the Sabbaths are called a sign between God and his people. He says, I am the Lord your God. Walk in my statutes, keep my judgments, and do them. Hallow my Sabbaths, and they will be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am the Lord your God. Yes, the Bible reveals that the 7th-day Sabbath is a sign between God and his faithful people. It is the day God's true followers will worship and keep. It shows their obedience to him. Therefore, the breaking of this commandment and replacing it with
hold on. Like, boy, and I'm finna piss somebody off. So, the mark is conforming to the new world, the new ways, right?
Yeah.
So, and some religions cover this, like Jehovah, for instance. So, are you not already conforming to know that Jesus wasn't born on the 25th of December and to worship on the 25th of December?
Or that the Sabbath is really Sabbath.
And that's where I was going with it. And then to move your shit to Sunday because it works better with the work week, the New World Order work week.
Yeah.
Are you not already practicing the wrong religion or practicing your religion wrong?
Well, see, when it comes to picking a day of rest, I've also heard it explained that it doesn't have to be the Sabbath just because God rested on that day, as long as there is a day that you pick.
We're not resting though, we're worshiping.
Right, but it's the same thing. You can pick one day. Say you work Sundays.
Why? Who said that? It's in the Bible?
And you can go
You can just choose whatever day?
Wednesday. Huh?
You can just choose whatever day you want to?
No, but God rested on the Sabbath. That's why everybody
On the Saturday, just started on the Sunday. Sunday starts today.
Yeah,
the week.
The week, yeah.
So you started on Sunday, ended on Saturday. So maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's not you can pick a day, whatever, but you move that day because of the world orders work schedule, nigga.
It works to the better.
December works better. Boom, boom, boom. Thanksgiving ain't even religious. That's some more pagan shit. It work. We chose these days. And we try to make it all, alabaster baby and all that shit here. But isn't that a rules?
Yeah.
Isn't that a rules? Like, to be honest though, like, you feel me? Like, just to be objective here, like, you are already conformed right there. Not that I go to church, but I'm just saying.
Keeping of Sunday, the day of ancient Rome's sun worship, is a mark of disobedience and false worship. The practice of Sunday worship is man worship sign
I'm gonna say, seven-day Adventist or whatever, those type of churches, they have church on Saturday.
between God and his faithful people. It is the day God's true followers will worship and keep. It shows their obedience to him. Therefore, the breaking of this commandment and replacing it with the keeping of Sunday, the day of ancient
exactly what he's
Rome's
talking
sun
about.
worship, is a mark of disobedience and false worship.
So I already, yeah,
It is
I already-
reveals
he was already
you
going
that
down.
you may know that I am the my Sabbath. Ezekiel chapter 20, the Sabbaths are called a sign between God and his people. He says, I am the Lord your God. Walk in my statutes, keep my judgments, and do them. Hallow my Sabbaths, and they will be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am the Lord your God. Yes, the Bible reveals that the seventh-day Sabbath is a sign between God and his faithful people. It is the day God's true followers will worship and keep. It shows their obedience to him. Therefore, the breaking of this commandment and replace
Sip my tea. Miguel finna go back to church Sunday. Man, looking all them niggas sideways. Why y'all don't say nothing about this? Why y'all ain't say this? Well, I had to learn this at music high. That don't make no damn sense.
I had learned this while I'm sipping on a brew.
Getting high. Cause what the fuck does it
Placing
matter?
it with the keeping of Sunday, the day of ancient Rome's sun worship, is a mark
Why
of
did they hate the Romans
disobedience
so
and
much?
false
Because
worship.
all the
The practice of
paganism,
Sunday
all
worship
the-
was decreed a
everything
Christian.
but sex.
But it's like, how much pushback did the original? Because I mean, and again, even you can go. Well, I don't know when the Sunday church started, because I don't know if it was slavery way. But
I mean, they just said it's because of the Romans. That was their holy day.
I'm talking Sunday.
Sunday was.
No,
their
I'm talking
holy
about when we started doing it, because we didn't have a church building to go to when we were slaves. Because mind you, this
Right.
Christianity
day.
was
But
mostly.
we got a lot of our shit from the Romans.
I'm not asking where it got. I'm saying, when did we pick it up? When did we start doing it? When did we like? Because I'm not finna say like, well, our church, this generation, wrong because we started doing it on Sundays. How far back does it go? Who's the first nigga? Because when from the time we had a Monday through Friday shift, you know what I'm saying, schedule. That's what I'm saying. When did that start? Because obviously Sunday had to be picked around that time. Because before that, yeah, you could do it on the Sunday. Maybe we convened on Sunday and all that shit there. But I'm saying when it came into conjunction with the work week and you know what I'm saying, 9 to 5s and shit like that. Like, when did that happen? When did because I don't think. No, you probably can. I think you can be taking. You can't be fired for not doing Sunday mornings at a job. But maybe you can. But like, why not? But why not put it on
I mean,
Saturday?
you can't get fired, but a job tells you when you start, can you work Sunday?
Yeah. And they can hire you based off that. But I'm just saying, like, when did that shit? How hard did we fight to keep it on Saturday? Why don't we? Upon reading the Bible, I'm sure everybody's read this at some point, or maybe some haven't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whenever Christianity took over after the Romans fell, they tried to cover up everything that the Romans had built. Christmas, all that shit really comes from Romans. Well, not really just from
I'm
Romans,
asking because you have. I'm sure you have a pastor that you know and trust. I do too. I have several that I know they came across this. Why didn't we change? Why? And then and then I'm saying this because we didn't find the first real pastors. It was some 20 years ago or some 30 years ago. Why didn't they change? Why didn't they? You feel me? That's what I'm asking.
Why
Like,
didn't they change it back to
Saturday? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I know where we got it from. I'm saying, when did we start doing it here personally? Like, you know what I'm saying? And when we realized what the Sabbath really is, why didn't we change it? Probably because we're comfortable with this Monday through Friday. You know what I feel? So we're aware. We're aware of it.
Well, I mean, because what was it? If God worked Sunday through Friday night, the only day we would actually be resting is Saturday, Saturday. everybody wants a, what is it, a 5-day work week. So we got fed an extra day to make us lazy, but to also kind of.
But it's not an extra. It doesn't either one way or the other. It doesn't really make too much of a fuck. Saturday or Sunday, you still work Monday through Friday. You get it. It don't matter. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, why didn't we change it? Like, what's the? So you can get your Saturday. Like,
Yeah, so they have both days.
they get your college football. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Christian observance by the Roman Emperor Constantine in 321 AD, an act of men. Yet the Bible clearly shows that the seventh-day Sabbath was ordained by God at creation, and it is the day God commands his people to worship him. Jesus even said he was Lord of the Sabbath. So at the end time, just before Christ returns, a distinction will be made in people throughout the world. Most will follow the beast.
I can't eat this, it's swine. And he's like, I made this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, I made this for you to eat. I'm telling you, eat it. It's like, yes and no, it's not pure because it rolls around it, but this is what we have for you to eat here.
Right, right. He ate it because he had to. Same thing, like I say, with the whole alcohol thing. I think drinking alcohol moderately is a stronger trait than abstaining from it. Now, if that's not what you want to do, then it's not what you want to do. Fuck it, but there's some type of wine or something. There's something, you know what I'm saying? It's inevitable, but that makes you stronger mentally.
Because even then, when God was with us, when Jesus was with all these parties that he went to, weddings and stuff and shit, he would make wine, not for him because he wanted everybody to be happy. So like,
but that's what I'm saying. You can drink, but don't get drunk.
Yeah.
You don't overindulge. And the same thing with the pork. Like, you don't overindulge, and they ate it because they had to, because they wouldn't be taking care of your body.
You're giving more chance possibly if you don't cook that bitch right. You're allowing you to possibly get sick or sicker because they roll around.
Or just anything, like I say, in nature. Carnivores eat meat that only eats grass. Carnivore, you know what I mean? Only if it has to under extreme circumstances, it'll choose the other one that eats whatever, you know what I mean? Because pigs can eat, they're omnivores, so you can feed them just corn and shit like that. But corn fed is whack. You want that grass fed and shit like that. Corn fed is whack. A lot of times they eat because they're corn fed. They're corn fed. A lot of times you can't even trust it because they probably feed a nigga slop too and all that shit. So unless it's a trusted brand, I guess. But
Some will follow God. The keeping of the seventh-day Sabbath will be
like
the
today.
sign that
Like, this
indicates
looks
which
like
people
right now.
belong to God, and the keeping of Sunday will indicate which people belong to the beast.
That's funny.
If you found this video helpful,
'cause we
give us
go
a
to
thumbs
church
up
on
or let us know.
Sunday, we're following the beast.
I mean, that's what's already going on right now. It seems like I said, I entertain the idea that
I feel like that's what he
the
was
first
trying to say in the
Antichrist
video.
was. No, that's not what he's trying to say in the video.
That the mark of the
The whole
beast-
point of the video is that the vaccine is not the mark of the beast.
Right, no, he's saying that the mark of the beast is following Sunday instead.
A mark that will directly impact the rest of their life. And only a
Yeah, he
few
used that as
know
one of
what
the
the mark
examples.
is. The mark of the beast is not a
But-
vaccine, social security card, tattoo, or computer chip. The Bible gives facts and clues to determine what the mark is, who it comes from, and who will have it. The mark of the
I say, but I mean, like, most Christians believe it hasn't happened yet. So, you know what I mean? I'm literally the only one I've ever heard say that it's already happened. Like,
You really think something happened?
that's what I'm. What the fuck do you? What?
I
Nigga,
think-
that's what I've always said. What are you talking about? That's what I've been
saying.
saying.
It was like a possibility. Not that that's what you really think.
What is the point of these thought experiments, nigga? Like, bro, you not understand what the fuck I'm saying? I said this from the fuck. Bro, this nigga is retarded.
I'm
Social
trying to say-
security. Like, you mean to say, like, yeah, I can't say nothing for sure, nigga. Like, that's where I be trying to tell you crazy because you believe everything for sure in the Bible. Everything for sure, Christian. Ain't shit for sure. Yeah, I believe it. I believe that it could be possible. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to preach this to my children because I know this is what happened. No, how do I know? So, yes, I'm saying this is a very, very likely thing that it's already happened.
No,
this
no,
is my
I'm
whole,
saying that
this is
it-
my
I'm
whole
not saying that
criticizing
it
with the whole
cannot be,
thing.
but
People
then
talking about,
it's
oh, we're
not-
going to go to heaven, we're going to go to heaven. For what? Why do you have to live good to go to heaven? There's plenty of reason to live good to go right. you know what I'm saying, right now. There's plenty of reason to be good right now. Karma and all that shit there, you know what I'm saying? Heaven never gonna come. Just heaven ain't gonna come. And guess what? Hell ain't either. Cause you can make hell right here. It gonna come immediately. You ain't gotta worry about that whole soul and all that shit there. Because at that point, thinking of it like that feels
Fake.
Feels fake. You doing it for the reward. You feel me?
Why if you focus and do
if you
good,
focus on the right now.
If you focus on the right now and do good here, then you're not really worried about the reward at the end because you know what you're doing here.
Because you understand
right.
the rewards you reap immediately by being a good person. You may not win everything. You'll get the short end of the stick sometimes, but you surround yourself with the right people, you're not gonna.
Right.
It's always gonna be somebody. You know what I mean? Like, there's no such thing as bad luck. Or necessarily fortune, nigga. You set yourself up for failure, or you set yourself up for, you know what I mean, based on around the people you frequent and the places you go to.
But I also think that along with, I don't know. I think it was just because I saw, not just because I saw that video with KRS-One, but I always hear like artists or like even 50 Cent. His like, man, I would wake up every day and think, this is what I want. This is. Like, not necessarily like speaking it, kind of like speaking it into existence.
You know, people that do that all the time.
Still don't.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah.
But it also
like
has
this.
to come with that and with your work ethic. Cause
yeah, with the work ethic, most people be saying it all the time
you sit on the couch for 10 hours, I'm going to be rich.
I mean, you manifest, you can manifest a lot of shit.
And then go and walk and actually do that shit, nigga.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, we do a lot more verbal praying, manifesting than anything. Like, actually... I won't just say labor. I mean actually dissecting what it is we did to get this quote unquote blessing or this quote unquote test. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always the devil, or it's always a test, or maybe your ass always just fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you always
you kind of
made this mistake here. Maybe
you kind of pick your own test. No, like you walk in the store. Am I gonna rob this bitch or am I gonna
No. Talking about when something goes wrong for you, when something don't go wrong because I got caught stealing. I went in there to steal, so obviously I knew something. I'm talking about how black people get the short end of the stick and why we always be losing. And then, it's just a test. Oh, it's just no, nigga. It's something else, nigga. Maybe we got to motherfucking skirt this government, nigga. Maybe it's okay to fuck this government. Maybe it's okay to cheat on taxes. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe this you feel me?
Well, because the white people do it, but they call it.
They goddamn do it.
They call it tax breaks.
But I'm saying we be trying to be so because there is in the Bible obey the laws of the land and shit like that, right?
But it also says.
Could we be getting it like I'm saying if it's motherfucking because they say during this time it's gonna be 1,000 years whatever boom and
1,000-year prosperity. We could be in that 1,000-year prosperity, even though we.
Well, I'm talking about the 1,000 year where Antichrist reigns or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's when it's.
And during that time you have a second chance to get into heaven if you don't get the mark. We could be in that part already. Or, like I said, all of that shit could already be over in general, my nigga. And having gone, them aliens done departed. Like, that realm is so far from this realm now, or whatever the case may be.
Well, because I don't know if this is even, if I even read this in the Bible, I don't really want to say that. But supposedly, like, even after God comes and heaven, earth, and all that shit, he throws the devil in the lake of fire. Supposedly, after a millennium, he's supposed to let that nigga out to see if he could deceive anybody else to take with him. I don't remember how accurate that was.
Ain't that that's the coming back of the Antichrist?
Nah, this is after all that shit. After the rapture, after the battle of Armageddon already been happening. This nigga already put this nigga into the lake of fire, and everything is good and holy. And out of nowhere, he's gonna let this nigga out again.
I don't know, shit. All that shit extra. All that shit weird and shit. But
it sounds like a fucking Dragon Ball Z movie. Something keep always happening at the when we get towards.
But I'm saying, why? Somebody, I'll wait. Why is we not in Revelations already? Why is we not? You know what I'm saying? Because they be talking about we living in the last days, like the Revelation finna happen, like the rapture fixing to happen. Why hasn't the rapture already happened? Why prove to me that it hasn't already happened. You can't prove to me that you right now going to church on Sundays don't have the mark of the beast. Prove to me right now. You can't.
Because you don't know what it looks like for what this guy said.
We just from just what we told. No, nigga, we do. We have the most tangible critique we have is is if you follow the word every, which includes Sabbath day, which includes, you know what I'm saying, all this shit here.
The Ten Commandments pretty much in the Sabbath shit.
Oh, nah, I mean, there's more than that, all of that shit. Everything, you know, all of my words that I decreed, the way I live was boom, boom, boom. Like, but just, he used the Saturday, Sunday thing as an example. That's a valid example. If you agree that the mark is imaginary and it's a belief, which again can be scrutinized, and you can say you're doing it or not, and somebody else can say, well, he's doing it, and this person can say, well, he's not doing it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what goes on right now already. There's churches that don't like other churches because they think. You seen that video posted that nigga was cussing out their pastor? And see, that's an age old fucking conundrum right there. Black folks. I was finna break this news like people didn't know it. Black folks have a problem being on time a lot of times, even in church. Mm-hmm. So
that's what looks like it happened there.
So yeah, I'm gonna explain. So the pastor was, I don't know if he cut somebody off or like cut a part of the service out or some shit like that. It seems like what had happened. But he did that based off the fact that they started late. So that because services feature a main preacher. And it seems like it wasn't the pastor that day. So now that you have a guest main preacher, you want him or her to come up on time and get all of their time. So any auxiliary excess performances can be delayed based only upon the fact that we started late. Now, if you start late, you already started the entire service in sin. The entire service is tainted if you started late. Technically, because no sins don't have weights, they all the sin, right? You committed murder to start this bitch. You started off on the wrong foot by all means. And typically, now God accept excuse absences. But typically what happened, somebody was dragging ass. I guarantee you somebody was dragging ass somewhere. So the other dude was mad because, you know, he cut the time off. And he was like, who are you to tell God what his time limit is and to cut God off? Because he trying to cut certain. So who's wrong? Who's right? Well, first of all, the pastor would have to be right, because if he's gonna cut something out, it's his church. He can do that, and if that's what he saw fit to do, that's what he's gonna do. Especially if it's to make time for the main speaker, especially. And then, second of all, the other dude was wrong just because he cussed in front of everybody, my nigga. And don't touch my shit.
And he looked like because he was up on the stage, so he was supposed to be someone of, you know, higher.
Of course, or a performer. Either way, but right. Either way you a minister. Like, either way you a minister. If my mama told me just because you play the drums don't mean you just come in and play the drums, live how you want to. You a minister. Yeah. So
that's what we trying to teach the kids that been playing the instruments at church. They're like, don't be late, because
you gotta treat yourself like that.
And because
your spirit is being transmitted through the waves when we performing, and you need to have the right spirit, and you need to have all that stuff. Like,
and I kind of get like, because the pastor, you know, he was like, you know, we started late. Because my pastor, whenever he has, and it doesn't happen so much when he's preaching, because then he knows when he can speed up. When people get the Holy Ghost or whatever and start speaking in tongues, he'll let them finish if he's preaching. But if someone came specifically to preach, then he'll be like, he'll slowly stop the music and be like, we're gonna let them continue, but we have, you know, this person that came to speak, and we can't take up their time either, because they have other.
Well, I mean, if it's somebody speaking in tongues and they legit, then you let that go or whatever.
Well, sometimes they're not even speaking in tongues no more. They're just sitting there crying and shaking.
Nah, move on to
so he'll just be like, we let them
move that bitch aside. She wants some attention. Yeah, no, we ain't doing all that.
But yeah, like usually when they speak in tongues, everybody just waits. But yeah, at least on that bug you tripping.
Tongues, boy. I don't even want to get into that one, boy.
That shit.
I don't even want to get into that one, boy. Y'all did the most. I could practice it too. I could practice some shit too. Like,
I'll be like, oh no, who is it? Don't look. Cause then I'd be like, I was like, man, like you bullshitting, you for real? Cause I know you.
Man, bro, look, man, y'all need be want to get into it, man, but you know, a lot of folks be putting on, and then you know, in my days of questioning everything, now I'll be like, man, I don't know, man.
You're a musician, so you get to see it all.
Oh, nigga, I mean,
that shit is hilarious.
My mom always say this is the telltale sign. If they speak in tongues and don't translate after you speak in tongues, everybody hear you, everybody gonna stop, and then you tell them what the word of the Lord said in English and plain English. But you know me these days, and that's a good barometer.
I've seen people where they themselves translate it, but I've also seen people that are speaking in tongue and then somebody translates kind of like not every word, like not as they're done, but it's weird because I've seen it where they'll do the whole paragraph.
It's supposed to be when they completely finish.
Like one person.
Not in between.
No. One. Yeah, if it's the same person, that's how it is. But the way I've also seen it is they'll do like a sentence and then somebody would translate in Spanish and then it goes back to the tongues and then the other person would say it in Spanish.
Right. Yeah. Nah.
Sentence.
That I don't. But
these two people don't even know each other, so I don't even know what the hell going on.
I don't know. But like I say, these days I question the whole thing in general, my nigga. I question the whole thing in general, my nigga. I've been in there, I felt it, you know what I'm saying? I noticed to be like a real wave of energy. I noticed to be
I feel like
almost calculatable.
It's more of you gotta feel, like you can feel it when it's real and when it's fake. But some people can put a little bit of sauce
But let's be objective here. I can go, cause I've heard tongues a trillion times, like so many times. And if I just take the most respected people, don't nobody be saying anything close to the same fucking thing. Not even the same fucking goddamn syllable, nigga. Yadididiyabo saha.
Yeah.
So nigga. I know it's not supposed to be a discernible language. It's the only language the devil can't figure out. But I'm just maybe it's a concept. Maybe it's not a language, it's a concept. But
no, because if we go back to when it happened in the Bible, there were multiple languages, so they couldn't understand each other.
Tongues is not a language like that. Tongues is not a physical language, it's a spiritual language.
No, but when
nobody spoke tongues at the market.
Oh no, because you're right.
Even
when they spoke in
know.
Tongues, it was when they had the
tongues is only given to you when you're under the influence of the Holy Spirit. Period. You don't just get to talk tongues when you want to.
Right. Yeah.
You have to be under the influence of the Holy Spirit directly, and
I
you don't. It's not a language that can be learned.
When they were trying to build that tower,
it's a gift that's given to you.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, why did they be practicing it? I'll wait.
Nah, cause I usually say it's real when even the baby shut the hell up. The baby be crying, the next thing that baby like, what the hell?
Bro, that's just energy, bro. If some dogs was barking and everybody in the whole room got quiet, the dogs will stop barking. Do they? You don't mean shit. It's energy. Like I told you, treat kids just like dogs, because it's their energy. You have to control their energy and keep zapping them before they get to level 10. You feel me? That's anybody's energy. Chris Hansen, when that motherfucker have a seat. That energy is enough to get you to paralyze you like that.
Because they fucking do it. They just like nigga just walk away, get arrested, whatever. But you gonna sit there and do the whole interview.
Guilt.
Guilt makes you start.
Every last one of us has some type of guilt, right? Especially you go to church on Sunday and make you think about what you did this week, or the way you talk to, even though the best of Christians, or the way I talk to her, maybe I shouldn't have, freeze you right there, and everything becomes more serious. It feels more serious. You believe it more. I ain't saying it's fake or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's so intense. That's why I have these such intense pushbacks, these intense feelings when I question anything about it. I talk to my brother about it all the time. I get him to open up about it, but it's always a pushback. It's always a, well, because of this, because of that, because of, you know what I'm saying? And he's very open-minded, and he's never mad, he's never, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's a responsive You feel me? It's a responsive thing. Like, you're supposed to be that way, though, to an extent. Just like you're a soldier in any army. You quote anything. You see your sergeant walking around, you stand up straight. You quote these things right off the bat because you just been trained. You know what I'm saying? And it's the way you're supposed to be to get it down packing in your soul, the way in your backbone to where it just comes out of you naturally and you got to think about it no more. But we're often taught a lot of shit, and it's come this far without us actually putting our mind on it and really, well, why is it like this? Are we supposed to do this? Up until the point to where we can go to church on Sundays and not even question it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was drastic me, I played piano at Drastic Wedding. They got married at the Seventh-day Adventist church. So we they go to church on Saturday. The pastor was Pastor Stevens too. A white dude, some white dude off on Country Road somewhere down there around Cleveland. And so I was exposed, you know what I'm saying? So I actually we sat down and talked to him. Drastic talked to him a lot more than me. Like, those are the people that actually got Drastic. Well, upon talking to me and like having those type of conversations and shit and telling this nigga what I've been through in church and all that shit, they what got him to be curious about it and seek, you know what I'm saying? And when he moved out their way, there was just a close church to him. Cause like most black people was raised like me, we gonna see a church like that and like, nah, you don't know nothing about that, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's typically how we raised. You would do the same thing. You don't lie. You so they go to church on Saturday. They some you gonna look at them like they Jehovah's Witness or some shit. Like, but he so open and curious to the idea of God in general because he's you know what I'm saying, Dress was dope boy, you know what I'm saying, that nigga shooter and shit. So that nigga just reached out to the first church that he could and sat down. We had a lot of talks with that dude and you know, he was putting us on the difference between Christianity and why I chose specifically this type of church and all this. That's how I don't think he said this. I don't think he said this how I was raised. I want to say he studied it and got into that and became a pastor and all that shit. It was a good experience though, like, cause I heard, you know, I know the Sabbath day, but I ain't heard of churches like that, but I ain't really had just got to meet. But they Christians, they Christian, they straight up. There was nothing. It ain't like Jehovah's Witness where they don't read some of the parts of the Bible. They read the very same Bible we read,
They go to church.
and they do it more strict, like we want to be. They don't let anything else change that Sabbath day, and they do it as a representation, as a sign to let you know that you with me and not them. Like, you feel me? And those strong words, but any Christian would protest too, but any protest you have to that is only an excuse, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, I don't understand why we don't go.
Everything else got to be so direct. Why can't that be? Oh well, that's just nah. You feel me? So everybody got it right in certain pockets. Jehovah's Witness don't celebrate no holiday. I think you can celebrate some holidays, but maybe just celebrate them when read the Bible and get as close as you can to the, you know what I'm saying? But you know it wasn't in no goddamn winter. Which, I mean, at the same time, we don't know what the fucking climate and shit was like back then.
They said in the Middle East it was hot back in their December it would have been like really dry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know what the climate was like at all, bro. So even Noah's art. In every religion, there's a huge flood that happened around that time somewhere.
And supposedly you should be kind of able to track it because the North Star is what led them there, no? To
track what?
The North Star, if you can pinpoint where it was in his date of birth or his time of birth, which was what, 2,000 years ago, roughly. So that goes back. You would have to figure out where the planet was. That far ago, you could probably see planets and stars that you couldn't see today because the universe is. No, they exist. They're just above the horizon. They're just over the horizon of the universe is steadily expanding. Between 2,000 years ago, stars and sunlight and stars have already gone out.
No. 2,000 years ain't shit, bro. 2,000 years ain't shit for a sun, nigga.
I know, but light years away, we talking about light years away, 2,000 years, we can see a star that maybe wasn't there anymore or some shit. Or a star that was there.
A star, not a major star. Okay. You feel me? Like, it had already been dim on the edge of the horizon, fleeting, you feel me? I'm talking about, like, things that was observable. Like that's why we starting to see more and more shit now because our telescopes are getting better. Like, there was things Galileo and them seen and they shit like that was very close that we can't see, you know what I mean, anymore. But or like when we was learning like Pluto was a planet, at that time we couldn't see anymore, but now we can see, you know what I'm saying? Because our shit is better. But the universe is forever expanding, so just in general, like nigga, you know how many zeros? Point zero the 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 solar system that we take up, the amount of space we take up is point zero 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 42% of the observable universe. That's how small that's how much we can see, and that shit is expanding. So there's a lot within that you can goddamn see, nigga. Like, but if at some point a realm was close enough to us to contact us, their contact, their visible contact or vividness would fleet inevitably because they're getting further and further away. Even if it's not straight up a planet of aliens, they say it's a different realm. Even a different realm could be hurt, like the solstice. Oh, now it's lined up and it's stronger this time, but it's moving further and further away. 2,000 years, you know what I mean? That's enough to move far away, like enough to ruin the connection, because we don't know what the connection is with how strong, you know what I mean? Like, because we don't know nothing about that. But as far as a major star for us to see, if we could see that, like the North Star, the Big Dipper and shit, the Big Dipper ain't gonna move off for a year. It ain't gonna burn off. Like, stars stay around for like millions and millions of years. So, I mean, planet Earth with 2 point something billion years or whatever. No, it's not 2 point something billion. It's more than that. Yeah, it is like two and a half billion years old. Whatever. And the sun's been here longer than that. So. Stars are old as fuck. Stars could be gods. What if stars are gods? That shit would be dope. Gods, that's what gods look like in this realm. That should be, because I mean, we can't perceive shit like. That's why it's wrong to say like or to me it's dumb to say, fucking either science or religion. If God was to make, if a higher being was to make a universe, what would it look like then? Poof. Like.
Well, that's what I try to tell my dad. I'd be like, people from church try to act like, oh, science and God are two different things. It's like, isn't God a scientist that much?
God's the ultimate alchemist, man. Like, that's what he is. So, that's what I'm saying. To say that it can't be God because it was the Big Bang, and to say it was the Big Bang and can't, or vice versa, is to give off the sentiment that you would understand what a universe being made looks like, or you can tell me what it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you can tell me that they are not one and the same, because I don't know how anything God manifests. I don't know how it works. I would say there was a point in time we thought the earth was flat, but we still do. But with further scientific knowledge, we can conclude that it definitely is not through multiple experiments with gravity. Yeah, well, that's music's take on it. We'll dismiss ourselves, or I'll dismiss myself anyways.
You sure you don't want to roll with me to Franklin's real quick?
Not a lot of data.